Majo John Madden Juanito in the doorway of my tiny house in Acamal, Mexico. This is Negro, who's here with me half-time. Night times he goes back to somebody else's house, but he is such a sweet dog. I've been making a series of videos all about, is it possible for anything to genuinely go wrong, or are there some things that just suck? And my position is no. My position, which I regard as the only true spiritual position, and it's been espoused by so many different traditions throughout the years, is that life is too big a fabric. It's all interwoven. It's way beyond our human mind's capacity to understand. And the idea that you could pick out one part of it and say, oh, that's a bad part, no, it just doesn't work. You have to love it all. And that's what we're meant to do, and it's what I'm learning to do. So I had an experience last night that on the surface of it was kind of a lousy experience. But this morning it's getting clear to me why it was so helpful to me. I've been in this house for 2 months, and over the course of that time I've befriended most all the dogs on the street. The dogs who run on this gravel road here are all a pack, and they're all friends with each other. But this dog, Negro, befriended me first, and they're all shy. They're all kind of afraid of people. But over a period of a number of days, he got over most of his fear of me. And now he lets me just give him more love than he can stand, and he's really healing, and I'm healing. And 2 other dogs who are really gorgeous, and I think are sisters or mother and daughter because they're so tight with each other, stay here at night. He goes home somewhere else during the night, but they just are here all the time. And I've got roosters next door, and they are noisy, aren't they? What a sound they make. I wish I could understand. I like to say that the rooster is my spirit animal because I make a lot of noise. So last night around midnight, the 2 dogs who are in here now resting peacefully, Princess and Spot, and this dog is wanting some. Oh, you're wanting to come in the house. Good. They were wanting to go out, so I let them out around midnight, and I have to run interference to make sure that none of the dogs that I feed can come in the house, because I don't want any more dogs in the house. And these 3 are absolutely non-destructive. They've never hurt anything in the house. But I didn't pay close attention, and when it looked like they both had come back in, I closed the door, and then I realized, no, Spot was still outside, and the dog I call Fang because his fangs stick out sideways, this terrible thing, he had slipped in. Spot was outside, Fang was in. So I went to open the door to let Fang out, and it wouldn't open. And it's a big, heavy door, And I threw my whole weight against it, and it just would move a few inches, but it wouldn't open. And I figured there's something wrong in the hinges or something. I knew that if I hit it hard enough, I could break it down, but I didn't want to do that and ruin the nice door that my landlord put on. So what followed was 7 hours of me and Fang and Princess in the house here, and poor Spot, who was outside going, why did you lock me out? What's this? Do you not love me anymore? And Fang worked so hard to be a good dog. He would growl at the door. He never growled at me, and he would whine, and he'd look at me like, why aren't you letting me go home? Have you kidnapped me? What's going on? So he would get more and more upset, and then he would sleep. And we went through waves of that, with him whining and crying at the door, and then all 3 of us sleeping. So I got some sleep. And I'd put out several messages to my landlord saying, help, I'm trapped in the house. But it was at midnight, and he had gone to bed. So this morning I woke up at 7 and I thought, oh, he'll certainly be up now. And I sent him a message saying, hey, come on, we have to get out of here. And he left me a message saying, you've got to stop letting dogs in the house. And I'm busy. I'm over in Tulum during business. I'll look in on you later. And I wrote back and I said, we're trapped in here. We are trapped in here. You have to come let us out. And he basically said, no, I'm busy. I said, okay, I tried not to break down your door. I didn't want to hurt your door, but I will absolutely break that door down if you don't come right away. And I understand you're in Tulum, but have one of your workers come. He said, okay, I'll have one of my workers come. And Antonio came out and found that the door stopper, which had been installed on the wrong side of the door, it was on the outside, had come loose, and it was stopping the door right there. So it was a very easy fix. So I was mad. That he would have just gone about his business today and not even answer my kind of frantic cries for help. So I wrote him a kind of a stern message, and basically I said, I love the Mexican people. I think the Mexican people are so sweet. They're in many ways nicer people than USers, almost entirely. The one part I don't understand is why Mexicans don't get it about dogs. Dogs are a beautiful species. They were sent to us to help us learn to love because they love with such a pure heart. So the message I'm about to send to him says, you're a great guy. I always rave about you. You've seen the videos where I say what an extraordinary guy you are, and we're really good friends. But that you would ignore, so okay, suppose you just never will get it about dogs. But that you would ignore the plight of your friend who's trapped in the house you built and say, I'll get to it later? No, that's not good. There's something wrong in that. And I honestly think there's something a little broken in your heart that you had so little compassion for us here. And I had made a video overnight about the Buddhist great heart of sadness because it was that kind of situation where you can't fix it and there's somebody in pain that you cannot help. And that's what it was like for me with Fang last night. So I got a hell of a good video out of it, and I got a chance to get tough with this really good friend who never was there a need for that. But this was a time for me to talk tough to him and said, I'll break down your fucking door. I didn't use that word, but he got the message and he sent his person right over. And here are the roosters coming to visit. So peace has returned to the kingdom, and at this point it's clear to me that getting locked in the house was not a bad thing. It was very, very uncomfortable. But it allowed me to put guardrails on that relationship with Marcos, which is important, and get the door fixed so that won't happen again. And I got a great video out of it about the Buddhist great heart of sadness, so it's not a bad thing. Kelly Corrigan, she initiated this whole thing with a podcast where she said she's dynamite. She's a PBS broadcaster. She knows a lot, but she said something I really disagreed with when she said some things just suck. No, I don't agree with that. Okay, bye.